Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's on-demand wellness session, Guided Chair Yoga. Leading our session today is Dr. Susan Marcus, a research psychologist and faculty in the School of Psychology. She is a yoga instructor and yoga practitioner. Enjoy.
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome to Chair Yoga. Chair Yoga is really wonderful to do if you have a chair, of course. It's great to do to take a few moments away from your desk. It's also really easy to do if you have any limitations or conditions which prevent you from standing for a long time or doing some of the more complex yoga postures that typically come in a regular practice. But still, these poses are designed to create mobility and stability, which is so important, particularly if you spend a lot of time at your desk. So we'll start first with sitting. And all you'll need for this part, you don't need the dog, but this is what we get when we work and practice at home. But what you will need is a chair without arms. Now this you can see is a yoga chair. It's just a simple folding chair with the back out. That's not necessary. A folding chair is perfect, or a dining room chair without arms where you can sit with your feet planted firmly on the floor. So the first thing we'll do is a few hip openers sitting in the chair. So come a little forward to the chair. You'll see from the side that I'm not sitting back in the chair, that I actually move forward a bit. All right, and the adjustment here is that here's my lumbar spine, if you can see that, and the hard part, the bony part here is the sacrum. When you come sit forward in the chair, make sure that the sacrum is as vertical as you can make it possible. Some people are shaped such that when they sit, their back is and I'll move here so you can see that their lumbar and their sacrum is kind of slanting back. And then for other people, they have a very sharp, what we call lordosis, and the lower back is hard. So if you're either of those, try to adjust so that if you're slanting back like this, you want to grab a little bit of the fleshy part here and just move it back. So you're sitting up nice and tall. If your back tends to be hard, hold on to the sides of the chair, and from the side ribs, just move back. Again, so the fleshy part of your bottom, the buttocks, are just resting on the chair, and the sacrum is nice and vertical. The pelvis, the front and back are vertical. So this is how we begin. Also begin with the feet and the knees hip-width apart. It's a little bit narrower than you think. We're not going from the outer fleshy part of the hips, but really where your hip bones are. So the first pose is a seated pose to open the hips. So stand on your right leg firmly. In other words, don't let the right leg rock out to the side. Stand on the right foot, raise your left knee, turn the thigh out. You see how my knee is going out? And use your hands to put the outer ankle right on top of the thigh. Keep standing on the inner right foot. Now, this is different than just sitting cross-legged in your chair. Okay, do you see the difference? See how the shin bone is here, and my leg is balancing, my ankle is balancing on the top of the thigh. Now, some of you already will be feeling something in the outer hip and in the inner thigh. That's the hip opening. Make sure that your inner ankle is extending towards your inner foot. If you want a little bit more of a stretch, you can take your left hand to your left thigh and roll the thigh out. Turn the thigh out. Here, I'll do it from the side so you can see. I'm using my hand to turn the thigh out and open up that hip a little bit more. We'll hold this for another few seconds. I can also use this hand as I turn the thigh out to press the thigh towards the floor. And you'll feel something happening in the outer hip and the inner thigh. Then the leg comes down, stand with both feet firmly on the floor, Raise the leg up, turn the thigh out, and again, the outer ankle comes onto the thigh close to the knee. And then pause and observe. One leg may be a little tighter than the other. It's so typical. This is my tighter side. So I can roll the thigh out and just press it and hold it. Again, I'm working to feel something in the outer hips and the inner thighs. It's a stretch. There's an intensity there, not necessarily a pain. Observe that my foot is still planted, the shin bone is straight. And then when I come out of the pose and plant both feet, the intensity disappears. If the intensity lingers, then don't continue to repeat this because there's something else going on. So we'll try this again. Bringing the right foot, or the left foot on top of the right thigh, close to the knee. Turn the thigh out, press the outer thigh down, see if you can get some hip opening. Now, if you want to go a little bit further, take your right hand underneath the foot. See how I'm holding my foot? And I slide the ankle a little bit closer so that the angle between the shin and the thigh, between the calf and the thigh, is sharper. And there's more hip opening there. Turn the thigh out and press down. And then release, and we'll try the other side. So you slide the foot back, and then we go to the other side. Lift the leg, turn the thigh out. So the thigh is rotating from the inside to the out as you put the ankle on the lower part of the thigh, and then pause. Roll the thigh out, and then just press. If all feels good, there's some intensity there, but you can do more. You use your hand on your outer foot and slide the foot a little bit closer. There should, in all of these poses, these bending poses, be no pain in the knee. If there's intensity in the hips, you're on the right track. If there's pain in the knee, come out of the pose immediately. And then release. Now we'll do this one more time. And add a little bit more. So lift the leg, turn the thigh out. Pause. See if you can bring the foot in more. Roll the thigh out, press the thigh down. And this time, as you do that, release the buttocks down towards the chair so you're not lifting up. So you're sitting down firmly in the chair as you roll the thigh out. And then just see, holding on to the sides of the chair, can you slowly straighten your arms and come forward? Just pause when you feel an intensity in the outer hip. Take your shoulders back. Take the bottom of the buttock into the chair. And then inhale and come up. Let's switch sides. I'll do this from the side so you can see as well. So I'm sitting forward in the chair. The sacrum front and back is nice and vertical. I bend the right knee, turn the thigh out, and put the ankle on my thigh. And then I pause. Everything looks good. Okay? So much of yoga is not just doing, but it's observing. So this is where you observe. Can I bring the foot in a bit more? And then see if I can roll the thigh out and move the knee down. And then holding on to the sides of the chair, the buttocks stay down, the sides of the chest lift. Throw your shoulders back, straighten your arms, exhale and come forward, the buttocks stay down. This whole area extends down and away, and you'll feel the intensity right in the outer hip. And then inhale and come up. And place both feet on the floor. The next pose that we can still do sitting in the chair, as opposed to stretch the hamstrings. So that worked the outer hips. This is a pose to stretch the hamstrings. So stamp your right foot down, lift your left leg up, take hold of the back of the leg, right by the thigh. okay? At the bottom of the thigh where it meets the knee. Then use your arms to lift your knee in line with your shoulder. So the leg is heavy, so the arms have to work. Keep the chest forward and the shoulders back. Keep the buttocks down. And then slow and steady from a flexed foot, the left foot. Keep your arms holding your leg up. And slow and steady start to push that heel away, lifting the leg with the arms, pushing the back of the thigh into your hands until the leg is straight. So here you are, you're holding up your leg and pushing through your heel. You may need to drop your arms a little bit. Maybe the leg doesn't get as straight. And you should feel a gripping in the quadricep, the top of the thigh as well. Bend your knee and release. So let's do the other leg. So I'm going to turn to the side so you can see. So I'm going to turn to the side so you can see. So I'll be working the right leg. See, again, you're sitting up nice and tall, feet planted firmly on the floor. Bend your right knee to your chest. Interlace your fingers on the back of your thigh, right up by the knee, but don't lean back. Lift straight up. And then use the strength of your arms to lift the knee higher and higher so your arms are working. Exhale to move the abdomen away from your thigh. So you're holding yourself up with your legs and your arm, not your lower back. Then flex your right foot from the inner foot, not the outer foot. That's the outer foot going forward. Inner foot going forward. Flex the foot and slow and steadily push the foot away from you as you straighten the leg. The arms are still working to lift the leg to the ceiling. The thigh is pushing into the hands to make the arms work. Slow and steady, straighten the leg. If you needed to let the leg come down in order to get it straight, that's fine. But the arms are still working. Push the heel away from you. Take your shoulders back and lift your chest. Keep your abdomen soft and your breath normal. Bend your knee and bring your feet down. Let's do this one again. So stand firmly on the inner feet. Keep the knees even with the legs. Keep the chest nice and lifted. Stand on the right inner foot, bend your left knee. And hold the back of the knee, or the back of the thigh close to the knee. Lean slightly forward as you lift the knee higher and higher. And as the knee goes higher and you lean forward, when you exhale, move your abdomen away from your thigh and lift your chest up your thigh. So the abdomen moves back on the exhalation and the chest lifts up when you inhale. Keep the chest lifted, inhale and exhale, slow and steady. Raise the heel as high as you can, tighten the kneecap, press the quadricep into your thigh bone, pull with your arms, push with your thigh, lean forward, don't lean back, and then bend your knee and bring the leg down, and now we'll do the other side. So from sitting, take the right leg up, interlace the fingers. Lift the chest. Now bring the thigh as close as you can to the chest. Exhale and move the belly away from the thigh. Inhale, lift the chest up the thigh. Keep the knee in line more with the shoulder than the center line of the body, so the knee goes more towards the shoulder. Then with an exhalation, start to reach, pushing the heel away from you. Reach that leg higher and higher. Keep the arms working as best you can. If you need to lower the leg by lowering the arms, you can do that. But keep the arms working. Push the heel away from you. Grip the kneecap into the knee. Use your hands to push your hands into your thigh and feel the leg work. And breathe. And then bend your knee and then bring both feet to the floor. Well done. Our next pose is a seated twist. So from here, you can still sit in the same chair. I'll demonstrate it from the side so you can see, but we can do this together as well. My dogs love yoga. All right. So, see again, I'm not sitting way in the back of the chair. You have to come up and sit tall. Then if you have an opening in the back of the chair, even a small opening, see if you can take your right hand and reach it through the back of the chair. If not, you can take the side of the chair. It's better through the back, but the side is fine as well. Regardless of through the back or the side, once you hold on to the chair, watch my shoulder. I'm going to turn from the upper arm and rotate the inner upper arm to the outer upper arm. And there starts the twist and opening of the chest. You can bend your elbow just a little bit to get the outer shoulder to roll back, and you'll feel your shoulder blade behind your back pushing in and lifting the opening of the chest. That's the beginning of the twist. Then take your left hand to your outer right thigh, hold really tight, and start to pull your left elbow towards your knee, up and away from your knee. Do you see I'm getting more twists? Observe when you're doing this pose that your chest is vertical, that you're lined up between the tailbone and the crown of your head. Observe if you're throwing your head back and bring the crown of your head towards the ceiling. Keep your nose this first time in line with your chest. Roll the right shoulder back, lift the left elbow and move it towards the knee and turn. All the while keeping both feet even and both knees even. Exhale to release, and now we'll try the other side. So from here, take your left hand behind and your right hand on your outer thigh. Again, the first order of business is to roll that left shoulder back. So there begins the twist. But keep the knees even. Roll the left shoulder back and bring that left shoulder blade in, and then use your right arm, pulling towards the direction of your knee to turn the chest more. Remember to keep the fleshy part of your buttocks on the chair, your inner feet on the floor, and the crown of your head pointed to the ceiling. Also keep your nose in line with the center of the chest on the first go. And then release. Now we'll try it again. This time we'll add something with the neck and the head, because this helps release tension in the shoulders and the neck. So, same thing, right hand behind, left hand on the outer thigh, knees even, feet even. Roll the right shoulder back and slide that right shoulder blade in, and then use your right hand with the right elbow coming forward to turn the chest. First, keep your nose in line with the chest. Descend the buttocks flesh, lift up through the crown of the head, and then, as your chest turns from left to right, look over your left shoulder. So to look over your left shoulder, lift your chin, lift your right ear, and look up and over the left shoulder, as if you're going to look at the back of the chair. Breathe normally. Inhalation and exhalation, normal breathing. Then turn your head back in line with the center of your chest and release the twist. Let's try the other side. I'll do it from the side so you can see and practice along. So now you'll take the left hand behind and the right hand on the outer left thigh. So roll the right shoulder back. Oh, sorry, your left hand, sorry. Let's take the left hand behind and the right hand on the outer left thigh. So roll the right shoulder back. Let's try it again. Reverse is hard. Let's roll the left shoulder back so the shoulder blade comes into the body and the twist starts to happen. Hold on tight with the right hand and pull the right elbow forward so you start to get the twist. In the beginning, keep your nose in line with the center of your chest. Then once you have the twist and the buttocks are released down and you lift through the crown of your head, then lift your chin, lift your left ear, and look up and over your right shoulder as you turn from left to right. Breathe normally. But observe the effect of the twist on the breath and on the internal organs as well. Turn your head back to line with your chest, and then release your hands, and then come sit. One last pose sitting. Let's take the feet as wide as the chair, and I'll do this from the side as well. Take the feet as wide as the chair, and then with your abdomen on the exhalation, moving back, and this part of your bottom staying down, hold on to the sides of the chair, and slowly come forward. So control the descent with your arms. Keep the feet pressing down. Keep your bottom on the chair so you don't tip over. And lower with your arms until the sides of your chest can rest on your thighs. Exhale. Soften the abdomen. Keep firm in the feet. Keep firm on the arms. And then with an exhalation, just let the crown of your head come towards the floor. Let the head hang as you move the shoulders back. Observe the breath. And then to come up, use the strength of your arms to inhale and come up. One more time. Hold on to the sides of the chair. Exhale. Keep the backs of the thighs and the buttocks on the chair as you come forward. The sides of your chest, so your knees are apart, so the sides of your chest can come onto the thighs. Shoulders back, exhale to let the head go. Then inhale, raise your head and use your arms. Come back to sitting, observe the breath, and then extend your arms straight up. People with tight shoulders, go nice and wide. Reach the arms from the sides of the chest. Reach your fingers, so the fingers extend right from your armpits. From the fingers to the armpits, extend your arms. If your shoulders are not so tight, you can stretch your arms straight up. But keep the backs of the thighs heavy. Keep the abdomen soft and the crown of the head pointing to the ceiling. So we'll try that one more time and then we'll add something. So standing with your feet firm, inhale, stretch your arms up. People with shoulder issues, you can have your arms here or out to the side or even hands at the waist, just so that the idea is to open the chest. So stretch the arms up, but keep the backs of the thighs in the chair. Reach to the fingertips. So the muscles attached from the side of your chest to your arms can be used to lift your rib cage higher and higher. Then with your hands up, interlace your fingers. Turn the palms out. Do you see how I turn the palms out? And then push the palms up to the ceiling. Tight shoulders, just have the palms push out in front of you. All right? So that you can push the palms and anywhere you are, up straight over your head or arms in front, that the elbows get absolutely tight and you can lift the sides of the chest again. Release the hands. If your arms get tired, of course, you can bring your arms down. Now, this is the tricky part of the pose. Interlace your fingers like you did before. Now, watch my fingers. Switch the interlock. Did you see? This is how I normally interlock. This is how I switch. And then turn the palms up again. As you sit down into the pose, sit down into the chair, tighten the elbows and lift up through the sides of the chest. And then release your hands and bring your arms down. Nicely done. So now we'll come stand up and just turn the chair to the side. It's okay, Richard. And I'm going to move back so you can see here. So see how I have the chair positioned? So I can hold on to the side of the chair. Take your feet apart But make sure when you look down at your feet that the outer edge of the pinky toe is in line with the heel. For most of you, it means turning the foot from the heel out a bit so it feels a bit pigeon-toed. But give it a try. Spread your toes, push the weight into your heels, and feel the strength of your legs coming into this pose. Feel the kneecaps and the quadriceps grip. Push down into your heels and you'll get a lift of the inner body up through the crown of your head. And then stretch your arms. Now you can let go of the chair and we're in mountain pose, Tadasana. From here, hold on to the chair and we'll try this in 2 different ways. This is tree pose. This is a standing pose. We've done the hip openers, so this should be pretty accessible. The first time we do it, simply raise your knee as high as you can, turn the leg out without rotating the hips, and just put your foot toes down wherever it belongs, wherever you find yourself. On the calf is fine. Hold on to the chair, but move your hip away from the chair. So now your leg is right under your chest, under your ankle. From here, with your outer hip moving away, stretch your left arm up. Reach up. You don't even have to worry about balance because you've got the chair. Reach the arm up from the sides of the ribs and press the inner right foot down so you have stability in the leg. Bring the arm down, bring the leg down, and we'll try the other side. Same thing, stand a bit away from the chair, have your feet a little bit closer together, turn the heels out, stand on your inner left foot, and then raise your right leg. Just raise it just as much as you can. Turn the thigh out and just plant the inner foot on the calf is fine. But make sure your hips are facing forward. Even if that knee comes forward, that's no big deal. The hips are facing forward. Then move this hip away, so see how I'm leaning, but now my leg is right underneath my trunk, and I have that support. Push down into your foot as you reach your right arm up, and see how the pose starts to even out. Push down on the foot, reach up with your arm to lift the side of the chest. And then release. Now we'll try down the other side. For those of you who that was enough, do the same thing again. Repeating a pose twice is a really good thing. For those of you who want a little bit more, you press into your foot, raise the knee a little higher, and then see if you can grab the ankle on the inside and turn the thigh out and put the foot on the root of the thigh a little bit higher than the first time. Again, don't turn your hips. Keep the hips facing forward. Move that hip, the standing leg hip, away from the chair so that you can push that foot into the thigh. This hip moves away from the chair. And you should feel that thigh work once you get that action that we got when we were sitting. Then, if the foot won't stay, then you just continue to hold the foot. But if your foot will stay, then extend the arm up. Your steadiness is on the chair and on the strength of that firm standing leg. Lift the chest with your arm. Bring your arm down, release the leg, and then we do the other side. Okay. Stand on the foot, raise your leg, either bring it to the calf again, or if you'd like to go a little bit more, raise that knee higher and higher until you can take hold of the ankle and bring that foot way up into the inner thigh. Then move the outer left hip away from the chair and press your foot into the thigh. That will keep the foot glued. Keep moving the outer hip away from the chair. Press your inner left foot down and reach your right arm up. Reach up and grow tall. And then release and bring your leg down. And now you can let go of the chair and come back to mountain pose, Tadasana. From here, just move your chair forward. Hold on to the top of the chair on either side and step back until you form a right angle with your trunk and your legs. Observe, if you look at the screen, that my hips are right over my ankles, and that my trunk is parallel to the floor. And then I look towards the chair and tighten the kneecaps, and from the outer hips I think about moving back away from the chair. And from here, the top of the chest, I move towards the chair. Observe that when you're in this pose, as you exhale, move your lower abdomen up towards your spine, and you'll feel the sacrum spread and release, and it feels so much better. Walk forward, come up, and we'll do it one more time. If you'd like a little bit more of a stretch, then you turn the chair around. If not, do the same thing at the same level. But it's the same pose, only the angle is a bit sharper. Now your hands on the outer edges of the chair seat. You step your feet back, have the feet almost as wide as the chair legs, the heels wide, and then move your hips back so the hips are underneath the ankles and the arms and the trunk are extended. Instead of dropping your head, I know you have such big brains, the head is heavy, bring the ears in line with the arms, and then lift the arms away from the floor. Move the outer hips back and the collarbones forward. And then walk forward and come stand in Tadasana. Okay, so we've done a lot of poses. You might be a little tired. So now we're going to come to our last pose. If you're able to comfortably get to the floor easily. This is a wonderful pose using a chair. And if you have 2 blankets or towels, I was going to use those, but the dog is on them. You'll have 1 blanket right in front of the chair with the folded edge, not the rough edge, with the folded edge facing away from the chair. Then you'll have a 2nd blanket or towel just folded enough to give you support for your head. I'm going to move everything this way a bit. Okay, then using the chair for support if you need to, carefully come to the floor. Have your feet on either side of the chair, and then watch. I use my arms to start to go back, and then I lift my bottom up and be more on the sacrum, so that when I lie back, my whole back body feels extended and supported. The blanket goes under your head and touches your shoulders. This blanket should hit just where the lumbar is to support the lumbar. You should feel this area of your abdomen soft and releasing. Then turn the palms out, tuck the shoulder blades in, and put your calves on the chair. And now you're ready for Shavasana. So close your eyes and rest. So Shavasana is a pose. It means corpse pose. And it should feel so comfortable that your legs and your arms and your trunk can relax, and that you can release any tension with closed eyes around your eyes by feeling as if the eyes sink to the back of the head. So let the eyeballs go to the back of the skull. Relax your eyebrows. Relax the tongue in your mouth. Relax the lips. And observe the breath. And you can be here through the end of this video, or you can be here for 5 minutes or 10 minutes if you're comfortable. If you fall asleep, you needed a nap. Shavasana is done where you're in a state of relaxed, alert, state of mind. But again, if you fall asleep, you just needed some rest. And then to come out of this pose, you bring your feet towards the front edge of the chair, and then carefully turn to your right side, your whole body. Just turn everything to the right, and use your left hand to bring yourself up to a comfortable seat. So that's a nice short practice for chair yoga, extending and stretching and twisting different parts of the body, creating quiet in the mind. And I hope you enjoyed the practice. Namaste.